Yo, what's going on YouTube? Jacob Marshall back with another video. Today we're talking about this book, right? And the arena of daily life, man. We live in a society where everything's rushed. Everything is pushed onto us. We don't really have time to think about what we want to do because the clock never stops moving, right? And I think that it really shows when something shitty happens to us, you know? When something shitty happens to us, then we really have the time to deal with it, right? But unless something crazy is happening, we don't have the time to deal with it. In the arena of daily life, right? A pupil from whom nothing is ever demanded, which he cannot do, never does all he can. By John Stuart Mill. Ups and downs. At the end of the way of a peaceful warrior, I shared a deep realization in the words I could find. There is no need to search. Achievement leads to nowhere. Makes no difference at all. Just be happy now. Release your struggle. Let go of your mind. Throw away your concerns and relax into the world. No need to resist life. Open your eyes and see that you are far more than you think. You are already free. Lofty words coming from an ecstatic moment of illumination. A few years later, however, they seemed like the words of a stranger. I could remember them, but I couldn't feel them. Lofty words don't satisfy us if our body is in pain, right? If our relationship is troubled, or if we're wondering how we're going to pay our bills this month. During this down cycle in life, doors slammed in my face and opportunities dried up. Despite my past realizations, I felt lost and frustrated. Doing what I could to support my family, I worked 2 jobs starting at 4:30 a.m. and finishing at 6 p.m. I was working as a typist, the only skill I could market at the time. Deep in debt, I handled what was in front of me, stayed open to opportunities, and faced life one day at a time. Something Socrates had said to help me through this dry spell. He reminded me that life has cycles, that whatever goes up comes down, and whatever falls can rise again. Progress can be slow. We remember, then we forget, then we remember. We take 2 steps forward, then 1 step back. No matter how enlightened we become, we still face the realities of life. A young man had spent 5 adorous years searching for the truth. One day, as he walked up into the foothills of a great mountain range, he saw an old man approach from above, walking down the path, carrying a heavy sack on his back. He sensed that this old man had been to the mountaintop. He had finally found one of the wise, one who can answer his heart's deepest questions. "Please, sir," he asked, "tell me the meaning of enlightenment." The old man smiled and stopped. Then, fixing his gaze on the youth, he slowly swung the heavy burden off his back, laid the sack down, stood up straight. "Ah, I understand," the young man replied. "But, sir, what comes after enlightenment?" The old man took a breath, then swung the heavy sack over his shoulders and continued on his way. Socrates once told me, a flash of enlightenment offers a preview of coming attractions, but when it fades, you will see more clearly what separates you from that state, your compulsive habits, outmoded beliefs, false associations, and other mental structures. Just when our lives are starting to get better, we may feel like things are getting worse, because for the first time, we see clearly what needs to be done. Dang, bruh. So it's saying, like, when something's like that's going on in your life, you can either take it as a lesson or you can take it as a loss, right? And, bro, that is so important to understand. This book is called No Ordinary Moments by Dan Millman. It's one I've been reading for a good minute now. I'm only on chapter 2. Let me know if this is a good book and if this is something that y'all want me to stick to reading, because I will read this every day on here, or I'll just give a little insight on what I've been reading lately. And just to show y'all what it looks like, this is kind of how it's set up. So this one is Aspects of the Way. Body, Mind, and Emotion is the second one. And then over here it says the higher self, experiencing the three selves, right? So it's just like a organized, categorized book about bettering yourself in a good way, right? But y'all have a good one. Stay down, stay out, no cap.